All right, what's up, everybody? Plant-based homestead prepper here. In this video, I'm gonna talk about fear. Okay, I'm gonna talk about fear real quick. So, cue the intro. I really want to thank our engineering department for the intro, and we're going to talk about fear in this video, okay? And the reason why this came up, I got a subscriber whom I know personally, and she called me a while ago. We were talking because she's watched my journey. She saw me lose basically 100 pounds, officially 61, and she's like, "Hey, why did you last time I talked to you about this, you was like, you just gonna let the universe do what the universe does and blah, blah, blah." I said, yeah, but I never really did get off of my, my final goal of wanting to have my own property, call my own shots. We do our own thing on our own property, and I never got off that goal. That's always been the goal. And she, and she's aware of it. She knows what I want to do and very aware. So, I heard and sensed a lot of fear. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. I'm not going to call you out. And I wanted to talk to you guys about fear because this has the potential of being a very scary situation. However, prior planning prevents poor performance. Prior planning prevents poor performance. And I learned that in the Navy. We said a little bit different, but there's still a G-rated channel, even though I dropped a couple S-bombs here and there. Somebody just lost their power. I heard it go off. That'll be all right. Helen, that's me. It's okay. I'm changing it. Here she comes. Lordy, lordy. And lost power. Anyway, fear. It's gonna be back on in a minute. Give me a minute, okay? All right, thank you. All right, so I know my job too well, y'all. Yeah, I know my job too well. So anyway, and that's the way grid down is gonna happen. It's gonna happen just like that. You're gonna be watching TV, and next thing you know, bloop, you have no power. But I caused this grid down right now. I heard the TV go off. I knew she was gonna freak out. But that just goes to show you, when people are not prepared or don't know what's going on, there's gonna be a lot of panic. So I want you guys to not panic if and when things go south. I want you to not be one of those ones that panic. That's why I want to talk to you about fear, because if you're fearful of what may happen, then that means you're not prepared. And that's what this channel is all about, getting prepared. That's what, Bear Channel, Prepper Nurse 1, Canadian Prepper, we're all out here preaching the same the same message. Get ready. It's just, I use the Bible as an analogous a lot, because it had to be the way Noah was feeling, because, you tell people it's going to rain, it's never rained before, they laugh at you. You tell people the grid is going to go down, and the grid has never gone down since, it's been established, people laugh at you. You tell people, hey, we're going to have a food shortage, they laugh at you, but it's okay. Because you're doing the job. You're spreading the word. And yeah, it gets frustrating for me too. I get frustrated talking to folks. And it's like, they look at me like I got the, they look at me, I'll always forget the darn vibrations. I'm sorry, y'all. They look at me like I got, the, what you call it? The tinfoil hat. That's okay. It's okay. Because see, I have thick skin. I don't care what people say or feel about me personally. I don't care. I agree that a long time ago. I'm older. I'm like 72 years old now. So I don't worry about crazy stuff about people, what they got to say and all that kind of crap. Because at the end of the day, they're not paying your bills, okay? Back on topic, Roderick, back on topic. Fear. So, what are some things that you can do now to prevent yourself from being so fearful of what might happen? I mean, nobody knows if this is going to happen, if we're going to ever get hit by EMP. Nobody knows if the grid is ever going to go down. Nobody knows if we're actually going to run out of food, okay? But guess what? If you start prepping for those things, and when other folks start panicking about it, and you have a bug out location, or you have some food stored up and you got some water and everything, and people are running around crazy, guess what? You don't have to worry about that because you're already pre-prepped for it. And I know people give, preppers get a bad name. We get a bad rep. But all it is just making sure you got what the heck you need. That's all prepping is. So don't make it anything more or less than that. Now, are there stages? Can you always do more? There's always more to everything. Think about it. I know one of the guys that follow, he says he works in a restaurant. That's a great place to be as a prepper. I mean, what in the world's going on with what are you focusing on? Hey, focus on me. There we go. Sorry, y'all. I didn't even know we was out of focus. He said he works in a restaurant. That's a great place to be because guess what? The restaurant has food that they get rid of all the time. If they don't sell it to you at a discount, I'm sure they give it to you. That's number one. Number two, old equipment. You can always take that and be like, hey, what you guys gonna do with this old blah, blah, blah? Oh, we're just gonna throw that out. Hey, you mind if I take it? No, go ahead. Bam. Now you can sell that or you can use it in a scenario. I am so sorry about the vibrations, y'all. I apologize. This was a whim. I'm doing this video on a whim because I just had this conversation. And no matter what you've done in your life, take the experiences that you have learned and use the experiences that you have. Oh, I knocked my mic off. Y'all, I apologize. I am trying to do too many things. But I also wanted to come in and just show you guys that plant-based homestead prepper is a real person with a real job, with a real family, with a real life. And this is what I do. I crawl around and do stuff, fix people's houses all the time. And I'm pretty good at it too. Pretty good at it, as you can tell. Now, just so you know, today what I've done, I've painted, I painted this room. Now I'm doing the electrical. And I get finished with this, I'm going to clean up and I'll be out of here. And this is all in a day's job. So, one thing I can tell you to do, if you don't have skills, start developing skills now. If you got a friend that does the kind of work I'm doing, ask them to go with you. Ask them to go with them so you can learn a few things. Because these are the technical jobs. When and if, God, I hope it never happens, but when or if SHTF ever happens, these are the kind of people that you're going to want to be around. You're going to be around people who, one, have some military or law enforcement experience. Bingo, plant-based prepper has both. I was in military police, believe it or not. It seems like so long ago. God, it's eons ago. And I don't talk about my military experience. I had such experiences. So I don't hardly ever talk about them, but I do have that experience. And home improvement, construction, those kind of people that's going to be very valuable to rebuild a new world, to rebuild what we've lost, if we can ever rebuild it. Okay, basic carpentry skills. Those are things you can start working on now. Do little small projects so you can learn, if nothing else. That's like a couple years ago when I wrote my book. Oh God, I'm sorry, I said a couple years ago. It was last year I wrote my book. And my wife and I was like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we make a model of our, of the dream I have for this property, for this land? She's like, okay. And y'all see my wife is down for everything. If it's anything that's going to potentially, on a fun scale, if it can potentially be a -2 on a fun scale, she is on fire for it, okay? That chick loves to have fun. And that's one thing I am trying to do. That's one thing she's teaching me, is just kind of relax sometimes and just let your hair down, have a little fun. I can't do it all the time. I don't know how to have fun, to be honest with y'all. I really honestly do not know how to have fun. And I realized that this morning, because she told me a few things and I was like, dang, my wife is right. We don't always like to hear the truth, but the truth, as the good book says, will set you free or make you free, or you'll be free by the truth that you tell. I quote the Bible a lot, y'all. I do have a seminary degree. I don't hardly ever tell anybody that, but yeah, I'm seminarily trained. But I don't ever try to throw it up in people's faces. That's why I'll say things in the Bible, but then I'll come back and I'll kind of change it up and misquote it, because I don't want people who don't have a strong biblical background to think I'm trying to preach to them I'm holier than thou, because Lord knows we are all just silly. We're all silly. And that's the best way I can put it. If you think you're better than anybody on this planet, you have yourself so fooled to the point where it's ridiculous. I don't care what your status is. I don't care if you gay, straight, transgender. I don't care if you're freaking rich, poor. We all bleed the same blood, and we're all gonna die. We're gonna take a dirt nap. And guess what else we're gonna do? We're gonna pay taxes. Because my favorite uncle is gonna get his. He's gonna get his. So all this fearfulness that you guys are feeling, it's because you're not prepared. So start getting prepared, and start small. You know, start small. Start with getting everybody in your house 3 days worth of water, and that's 1 gallon per person per day. So if you have a family of 3, you need 9 gallons of water. And I just saw the other day in Walmart, which is a store that I hate, by the way, but you can't get cheap preps in there. Saw the other day Walmart was selling Great Value or Big Value, whatever the heck the value brand is, of spring water, a gallon a piece at 60-something cents each. So quick math, 60 times 9, that's under $6 for 3 days worth of water for everybody in your family. If you have a family of 3, you need 9 gallons of water, okay? And start there. And then what you do, you just keep building on that. And then don't do like we did when we first started prepping. We were silly. We would just let the water sit around, and then eventually the water goes bad. We weren't even drinking the darn stupid water. We were just prepping. So next time you go, get you 9 more gallons, and then you start drinking the original 9. Ah, that's amazing. Isn't it amazing how that works? Yes, that's amazing. That way you just keep replenishing your stock, because if you're drinking municipal water, you're crazy anyway. I did a video about that. If you haven't watched it, watch the video entitled Don't Drink the Water. And I said where? I said nowhere or anywhere, something like that. So go back and watch that video. You shouldn't be drinking municipal water. So much crap in the water is ridiculous. You should be drinking some kind of filtered spring bottled water. And I recommend good high pH water. And it's up to you. I mean, it's up to you if you heed the word or not. Because guess what? The Chappelle household constantly have water. But we drink different water. We have water we drink every day, and we have emergency water. Just the way we do it. Okay? If it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't care. But that's just the way it is. Okay? Sorry about that pause. I had to get that groundwork right. So, fear. False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. And anytime you're fearful of something, that just means you're not totally prepared. It's like if you're going to give a speech, do public speaking. So anytime I get ready to do public speaking, I'll study whatever topic or we're talking about or whatever. I'll make some notes. I don't use manuscript. I just, maybe some notes here and there. I go over practice, drill, and rehearse, which is something else I'm gonna start teaching you guys. Practice, drill, rehearse. Practice, drill, rehearse. PDR. We said it all the time when I was in insurance sales. PDR. I'm like, oh my God. And all it was if somebody says this, then you come back and you say that, and then you ask a question. So the question I have for you guys, now that you understand that fear is only you not being totally prepared, and trust me, I'm not totally prepared. I'm more prepared than most. But I think if you ever feel like you're totally prepared, I think you lost the battle, because I think that's a level of arrogance that you should never get to, or at least you should really truly try to stay away from. Because you can always do better, you can always learn more. That's just life. You can always do better, you can always learn more. You can always do better, you can always learn more. Y'all remember that, okay? So first thing I told you can start doing if you're new to prepping, I don't know why I keep going out of focus. First thing you can start doing is, number one, get you 1 gallon of water per day per family member. And if you have pets, you need to prep for them too. I don't know how big your cat is. I don't know how big your dog is. I don't know if you got a bird or a gerbil or whatever, but you need extra preps for them. Or you need to make up in your mind that if SHTF happens, if Tiawaki happens, if WROL happens, then you're going to do a mercy kill for your pet. And then eat them, I guess. I guess that's what you'll do. My wife and I talked about, because we have 5 Yorkies. Oh my God, my house will never be the same. Can y'all imagine having 5? I don't know what in the world we were thinking. Well, we weren't thinking. We weren't thinking long term. We were emotionally thinking then. Can y'all imagine having 5 Yorkies in your house? Now, fortunately, they're small. Unfortunately, they make as much noise as a full kennel of dogs. That's just facts right there. Okay? I love them. They get on my nerves though. And me and Jennifer, they truly are her babies. And I can't do nothing with them, because if I go, like, I'm gonna go wrestle with Jennifer, they protect her, especially Jackson. Jackson, like, he jumps between me and Jennifer, and he's gonna protect his mom. It just is what it is. So, back to animals. If you have animals, make sure you prep for them. It's inhumane to have pets and not have a plan for them if SHTF happens. And I always try to give you guys a reference. A good book to listen to, it's on YouTube, is 1 Second After. Golly, it's one part in there when they talk about the family pet, and they have to put the family pet down. I cried. Ooh, I cried like a baby. I'm telling y'all, I cried like it was one of my dogs. And that book will get you to listening. Will get you to thinking about life in general. Life is short. Life is so short, and we are only here for a blip. You think about it, the average person, if we're lucky, is going to live 100 years. Compare that to eternity, that's nothing. That's like that much time compared to eternity. That's like the planet Earth. We look at the planet Earth as it is so big, but if you look at the rest of the universe, and I love watching those videos where it shows, like, okay, here's Earth, here's the solar system that you're in, here's the next solar system, here's the next solar system, and then they point back to Earth, and it's like a dot. It just shows you how small we are, compared to everything. And the worst thing I ever did was go on this journey of prepping and fasting and eating plant-based, because I started learning so much more stuff about just the universe at large, and how silly people make arguments about just stuff that doesn't mean anything. For example, I got caught up on this moon landing stuff. And did we make it? Did we not? Did we lie about it? What difference does it make? You know, it's like is the Earth? I mean, we're in 2020 almost, which means we've been existing. We've been counting time for at least 2,000 years, at least, right? And y'all think about it now. I want you to think about how silly stuff is, and this is how they keep us off the main thing. You ready for this? We've been in existence for at least 2,000 years. I'm talking about just smart stuff, right? Not to mention the Mayan, not to mention the Egyptians, not to mention, you know, prehistoric times. Mankind, modern man, has been in existence for at least 2,000 years. You mean to tell me we still don't know for a fact if the Earth is a sphere or flat? Now, I will tell you this. These are some things I do know. I know for a fact that when I go to sleep tonight, if I happen to wake up tomorrow, I know the sun is going to come up unless it's raining. And then the sun will be up, but it'll be hidden by clouds. I know that. I also know that over the next, 72, 48, 72, 96 hours next week, I'm going to want to eat something. I may not, but I'm going to want to. I'm definitely going to want to drink some water. So, as long as we keep the main thing, you can get caught up into all kind of conspiracy theories. You can get caught up into, and all it is designed to keep us just fighting with each other. All that silly stuff is just to pit somebody against somebody else. And it almost forces you to pick a side. It's like, okay, well, pick a side. You either agree with me or you agree with them. Well, how can I just agree with both of y'all just to love you? I don't want to pick a side. How about that? I'm neutral. I'm Sweden. I'm not going to pick a side. How about that? Okay? And what I want you guys to do, I want y'all to stop fighting against each other. And let's make sure that we have what we need. Let's make sure we have what we need. Because, see, the more time that you spend or I spend debating if the planet is flat or a sphere, or if this person is doing this person right in Hollywood, or if Cardi B's got a nice video with Beyonce and Jay-Z is a billionaire or not, and Bill Cosby goes to jail and all that kind of stuff, guess what? The more time you can focus on that, the more time somebody else is focused on something that you should be focused on, like making sure your family is fed, making sure your family has clean water, making sure you start growing some of your own foods. I'm just saying, it's all a bit conspiracy to keep us dumbed down to the point where we're fighting each other. And I just refuse to fight. I really truly do. Now, I don't pick a fight with anybody. Never have, never will. But don't bring a fight to my door, please. Oh goodness, I've only had 2 fights in my whole entire life. Actually fist fights. I'm not even gonna talk about those. One was but I just said I wasn't gonna talk about it, and then I started going to a store. Anyway, I digressed. Fear, fear, fear. Okay? False evidence appearing real. But if you're feeling uneasy right now, then just start prepping. Start small. Start with getting some water. Then get you a thing of I almost said tuna fish. Get you a thing of peanut butter. You start with water and peanut butter, and you got a 48-ounce can of peanut butter and 3 days of water. You're more prepped than 90% of the rest of the United States. I promise you. If you have 4 days supply of water and 2 jars of peanut butter, you're better off than all your neighbors on your block. Unless you've talked to them and you convinced them that they need to prep. So just start. Okay, that's all it is. Just get started. And constantly come back and listen to the things that are on my channel. Subscribe, like, hit the like button, comment. Please, I need to hear you guys' comments because it keeps the dialogue going. It keeps me sharp. Okay, so I need y'all to do that for me. And then if you like some of my videos, share them on some of your social media. Be like, hey, this guy's got this crazy series talk about what would you do. And if y'all haven't seen the what would you do videos, go back. I even got a playlist. Go up here, look at my playlist or whatever, and go through and watch the what would you do playlist. I got 4 of them right now. Number 5 is coming today. Number 5 is gonna be a good one. Hadn't thought about it yet, but it's gonna be a good one. So thank y'all for being here. I know I rambled for a long time, but hopefully it was interesting enough for you guys to stick around. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you guys on the next video. Plant-based homestead prepper out. I love you enough to tell you the truth. Y'all take care.